All right, so we're going to move on to some pelvic exercises here. You're laying here with your legs out straight, Daniel. How does that feel on your low back?
A little bit sore.
Yeah, most people are going to say that they have a little bit of low back soreness by laying on a firm surface like this with their legs out straight, because it's putting Daniel's back into a little bit of a lordosis, and what his back is saying is, hey, my joints are irritated, I don't like this position. And a lot of what we're going to do is try to take stress off of joints by strengthening the core and getting to use the core better. So it's almost like magic, Daniel. If you just lay here with your knees bent like this, you feel how that kind of flattens things out a little bit.
Yeah.
Feels a little bit better. Okay, so let's experiment a little bit with a pelvic tilt. And first of all, we want to be exercising a deep muscle called your transverse abdominis. And so although it's an abdominal muscle, it's not the one that you're used to using, unless you're at the beach and you're trying to look really good, right? So what I mean by that is, I want you to draw your stomach in, okay, as if you're trying to bring your belly button closer to your spine, all right? It's the same thing as if you're at the beach and trying to look skinny in shorts without a shirt on, you're drawing those abs in. So this always starts with drawing those abs in. We want to keep those abs in the whole time, all right? So it's not like I'm going to kind of punch you in the stomach and you're going to tighten up and everything pooches out a little bit. It's the opposite of that. Now from here, we want you to kind of find a comfort zone and kind of warm your back up. So we're going to do a pelvic tilt, okay? And so reference your belt buckle, okay? If you don't have a belt buckle, pretend like you do have one. And then we're going to try to bring that belt buckle up towards your chin. So you're going to be tilting your pelvis in this direction, okay? And then we're going to bring the belt buckle away from the chin, like that. And so that's called an anterior tilt. And then we're going to go into posterior. Good. And then we're going to go to anterior. Now, that's kind of hard for a lot of people to get. It's not that easy, but Daniel is doing a good job here. Some people refer to this as a clock, where you're bringing your belt buckle up to 12 o'clock, good, and then down to 6 o'clock. And then as we're trying to gain mobility, sometimes we'll go 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock even, but for our purposes, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Okay, now we're going to introduce a little bit of biofeedback here as we're doing this. And so yeah, you kind of square on the table there. I want to set this underneath your back, and it's going to be just at about belt line there, a little bit above belt line, right in the lordosis there. And we may have to adjust it a little bit to make sure we get it just right. So you're nice and strong, good, and then go back down. If Daniel had difficulty lifting his hips up, I would have him just kind of log roll to the side, and then I would slide this underneath him. I'm going to put a little bit of air in this right now so you can feel that pump up a little bit. You feel that kind of pumping up? Okay, and then just kind of wag your knees just a little bit from side to side, just once or twice, just to make sure that you feel where that is. Now, I probably didn't put that right in the center of your low back. It might be off to one side or the other. Can you go ahead and make an adjustment and wiggle it to where it feels like the center if it's not in this exact center of your low back? Pretty close right there. Okay, so I want you to see the effect of your pelvic tilt now, okay? So you're gonna hold this above your eyes with your hands, okay? And you're gonna see there's a little dial right there, right? And it's by the blue. So, and maybe we can get a shot of that dial under there real quick. Okay, so let's do a pelvic tilt now where we bring your belt buckle up to your chin to that 12 o'clock position. Okay, so what happens to the dial there?
Going up.
It goes up, and so that's what we want. So that's called a posterior tilt, and now we're going to go the other way, and we're going to expect the dial to go down. So let's go the other way. There you go. And even further if you can. There you go. See how the dial goes down? So this may be all we do for the first session or two, is just give a person the ability to isolate pelvic motion. You'll be surprised the amount of people that really struggle with this. So he does a posterior tilt, the dial goes up. He does an anterior tilt, the dial goes down. Okay, and this again is step one. People may be stuck at this step for several visits before we go to step two, but this was step one.